From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready, and we are underway in Foxborough. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Mayfield to throw on the first play. And his first look is incomplete.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Mayfield. That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
To throw, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 42. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give him 12 yards that time. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Mayfield now. This is caught by Evans. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. And again, it's Mayfield. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback,
yeah,
you've got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
2nd and 5. A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. And Evans will have a Bucs first down as he's down inside the 15. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers are on the board first here this afternoon. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New England's offense set to go. To the air, May. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Throwing here is May. Short pass caught by Henry. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now 3rd down and 7. Here's May. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So they decline the holding penalty and will take the down instead as that leads us to 4th. So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. The Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's 2nd and 7. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And that is incomplete here.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing, Mayfield. That is caught. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 9 yards that time.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Mayfield to throw it. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. For those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now Mayfield. Out to the right here to Shepard. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Buccaneers have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And running with power here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. To throw, it's May. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibson. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll throw with May. That is caught by Douglas. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. He's got it to the 43 here.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Looking to throw. May. Complete. It's Henry. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 34-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
May now off the bootleg. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Levante David making his presence felt in the backfield.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Looking to throw. And this complete to Henry over the middle. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's May. And this is going to be incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
On 4th down, on comes Joey Sly for the Patriot field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Sly able to put this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a conservative decision there, but it does put them on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there's never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Running the toss to Irving. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Successful toss play to the right there. It's interesting. Teams seem to run the toss a lot more to the right than to the left.
It's usually a little more natural. Right-handed quarterback, typically your power side running the ball is to the right side with your guard and your tackle. In college football, they used to call it student body right, because you had everyone on that side, including a fullback leading. In the pros, they don't call it that, but it's still the same result. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Well, the Patriot offense back out, getting set to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The 1st-round pick looking comfortable in this offense. 1st down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. and most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with, and there's a completion right there.
His throw incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They'll run it. This is Ramondre Stevenson. And he's going to have a Patriots first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw here. Short pass caught by Henry.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
From the shotgun, it's May. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, May with it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Douglas with a grab over the middle. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw again. Short pass caught by Henry, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throw left side complete. That's Douglas. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To the air, May. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Bryce Behringer now. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. To throw, Mayfield. Steps away to his left. And he'll get nothing out of that one. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. This is a diving effort by Evans. What a catch. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield now. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. Second down and 8. In motion right is Evans. Mayfield. Finding Otten once more. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing, Mayfield. Evans has it left side. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This 2nd and 4. Here's Mayfield. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain an 11-point spread. The Pats going to get one final possession in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Gibson again. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
On third down, here's Stevenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's May. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Douglas. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw, it's May. He completes it to Henry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Throwing here is May. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Logan Hall fighting through and dropping him for the sack. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Looking to throw, May. Short pass caught by Henry. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point, and what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Over the middle, complete. It's Douglas. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Back to the ground with Gibson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd and 4. They'll throw with May. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Sly able to put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 27. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Shepard will go in motion right. From the gun, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Mayfield. It fights him off, eluding the pressure right. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. The linebacker, Robert Spillane, making a big play. This defense coming out after the half, and if that play's any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Patriots take over. On play action, May. Open man, that's Henry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the 1st down.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. He'll look to throw. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson, and he will have a Patriots first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
And they go play action with May. He finds Douglas complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. This one to Bourne out on the left side. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Second and 16. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Again, he'll drop to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Kyle Duggar up to make the tackle. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Mayfield to throw it. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline. Receiver ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The offense on third down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
To throw, Mayfield. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Shepard goes in motion. Mayfield looks to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see them drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Quick throw caught by Godwin. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Mayfield down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing, Mayfield. That is caught, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, 27 yards. And the Buccaneers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. New England trying to get to place on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air, May. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Kalijah Kancey picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard.
Under pressure, they got him again. Yaya Diaby, he's the one who got in there. He gets the sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's taken on the 25. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Mayfield. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They go play action. Mayfield. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run out of the gun with Irving. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Evans. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turned. In motion goes the tight end. Mayfield off the play fake. He completes it to Evans. And he's got this down to the 35. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left.
And that flag accepted.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, it's Irving. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Baker going to give it to Irving.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on second down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so, but ordinarily, second down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up third down, they'll have to throw it anyway.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
Bucky Irving.
An 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Buccaneers have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Here's May. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
From the shotgun, May with it.
And his throw here's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They'll try and throw for it with May.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.